morning. I wanted to do a video on people's reactions to us and how they can sometimes pass on their upsets, pains, disappointments, frustrations, because as a neurodivergent or maybe an autistic, we really perceive those sorts of behaviours. So I just wanted to say a little bit about it because I spent a long time trying to understand it, and I still, even though I'm better at dealing with that, I still have difficulties with it on some days. So I wanted to talk to you about how when we were like we are, and I know not everyone's the same, like I always say, some people are different, they might not see it the same way as I do, but I know some people do, from people I chat to. So when we kind of go out into the world, and it can happen every day, it does happen every day for me, you meet people, or we meet people who have got problems in their lives, because we all have problems some days and not others, problems in their lives. And then people we work with, and sometimes they'll kind of like snap at us or look cross at us, or they can have a slight go at you about something or imply something and say things in words and tone, and you've gone in that day, like I can do sometimes, happy-go-lucky and then all my intentions are good. I don't want to cause anybody upset or pain, so I go in all happy like that, and I actually come away from work mostly happy because I've learned to be more resilient in certain ways. It doesn't mean to say that everybody can do that. You've got to do things that suit you, and it doesn't mean you're any less because you can't. And also, for some, I kind of had to build up a sort of a strategy to be able to deal with other people's moods and problems, and them trying to pass them on to me. Because what I used to do is I used to take them personally, and I used to think I was inadequate, because that's a very common thing for a neurodivergent autistic to feel, and we are rejection sensitive. So when anybody does these kinds of things, it can impact us quite emotionally. So I wanted to talk about how there's a lot of people out there who aren't self-aware. They aren't aware of their own behaviours. They aren't aware that having a go at someone because they're in a bad mood isn't actually a good thing to do. And you'll find autistics can get quite confused by that, because we, not all the same, but we wouldn't generally have a go at someone. Now I know, like, when a trigger, that can make us have a go at someone, so it's like, but there's a certain way that I'm talking about, where is that sort of passive aggressive, sort of hidden in words and actions, whereas I suppose when we can have a trigger, the people know about it, and it's about that trigger. It's not about things that are bothering us in other parts of our life. For us, it's that thing, it's not the other thing. But it can be a build-up of several things for us as well, sometimes. But I wanted to say that yesterday I had a couple of interactions that were not about me, because I always kind of think if you do things with a good, honest heart, you can't really go wrong. So nothing I did yesterday was, because I'm quite self-aware, I don't, and I'm concerned about being good to people. like a lot of autistics, and a lot of what I do is because I like helping and supporting people. And like yesterday, then a couple of people did the passive aggressive things where it wasn't about me, but I knew it wasn't about me. So I try and ignore and move away from those things, and I do try as well. It's not easy for some people if you're working with them every day. There's certain things I've done to protect myself from that, because I've been able to. Um, I don't interact too much with people who aren't very healthy in the way that they communicate, because being autistic, I'm very, very sensitive to that. And I want to keep it will create anxiety and depression then. And that's one of my ways of keeping my anxiety down, is I don't communicate much with people who aren't self-aware and will take their feelings out on me. I give some people a couple of goes, and if they do it too often, I will go, okay, well, they obviously haven't, they will continue to behave this way. And I'm not nasty to them, but I do move away from them and don't give them much eye contact. But I do what I need to do to keep things moving. So I just wanted to talk about that, how I do see that as well, and I'm calling it out that we as autistics we are quite perceptive, and they might say they're not doing that, but we know they are. Like I said, it's not always one case. It can be they've just had a bad day. That's why I give somebody a couple of goes, say, okay, how are they going? How are they doing? But some I just haven't learned how to be self-aware and communicate in a positive, kind way. And those people you can't win with unless they themselves start to notice and want to do something about it. Some people get a power trip from it. So that's like I kind of talk about what's your motivations, what's your reward systems. And for some people it is belittling others, which is a very unhealthy, awful way to behave. So, and they've learned awful strategies, and some don't know that's what they're doing. So I generally keep away from those sorts of people as much as I can. I leave them with kindness. Okay, I hope that's helpful.